Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Lili Nishmasi Mimerosi Ruspas Mordechai. Live from the Heilige Shul of the Ramah. Live from Chachmei Lublin. The Ramah used to stand and daven right over here, 2 feet away from me. So, Lili Nishmasai, we're going to learn a Mishnah right here in his Beis Medrash. Gary, show a little bit of the Beis Medrash, the Olam that's here. We're here, this is the first shir on our Hakoras Hatov trip. We're here with 25 individuals who gave so much to MDY to spread Torah to Klal Yisrael. In their schus, over 30,000 people are doing the daf every single day. We have almost 8,000 people in Hebrew. It's an emotional shir. To sit here in the Beis Medrash of Meir Shapiro. We're on a trip of Hakoras Hatov trip. We're here to be Makar Toiva to all the Toimchim of the Daf, people who gave from their time, their life, their resources, their money. Special Hakoras Hatov to Yossi Klein for putting the entire trip together. Unbelievable. For Morty Rubin for putting together so much for the trip. Each one of you, in the bag that you received a sefer, which gives you stories and chidushi Torah for each and every gadol that we're going to and we went to. Yishur Koyach to Nisan Al-Gans, and for every single person here, including the tech guys, we have Gary Ben Moshe, who's been with the shir since the beginning, Dave Sharfman, Mark Ashkenazi. There's one person in the room I owe a tremendous Hakoras Hatov to. This person has literally changed my life. This person, because of him, my life made a 180, and I believe this person has changed every single person in this room's life. I'm referring to Meir Shapiro himself. I believe his neshama is here in this room, and he was nifter at the very young age of 46. In his very, very short life, it's unbelievable to imagine what a person accomplished. Millions and millions, hundreds and millions of hours of Torah. Millions of dapim of Gemara have been learned because of one individual. One individual who went out of his comfort zone. He didn't want to do what he did. He didn't want to get up in the Knesset Gedale. The Chavetz Chaim said, you have to. I'll back you. One idea, one human being could change the world, and he literally changed my life. Be'emes. We get emails every day, people that their lives have changed. My life has changed through the daf. I think everybody in this room, and Be'ez Hashem, everybody in this room's life has been changed through the daf. Meir Shapiro had 2 children. He had this yeshiva and he had the Daf Yomi. That's it. He didn't have children. And he said, my children are the daf and the yeshiva. What a schus it is to be in this beautiful, beautiful Beis Medrash, refurbished. It might be the nicest yeshiva that I've ever seen in my life. Gorgeous building. I've seen a lot of pictures, but when we drove up to the building, just an unbelievable, magnificent yeshiva that he put together, a grand staircase when you walk in, beautiful rooms, beautiful Beis Medrash with a beautiful balcony, big beams, everything is unbelievable what he did. Rachvis for Torah, for Geschmack in Torah. Meir Shapiro said, it's very famous, he said that the Gemara in Sanhedrin says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he created Adam, he took his head from Eretz Yisrael, he took his guf from Bavel, he took his arms from another country and his legs from another country. And he says, that's my dream. My dream is, I wrote it down here, that one day a Yekef from Germany will be sitting next to a Yid from a Chassid, a Ger Chassid from Varsha, and a Jew from Casablanca, next to a Jew from New York, he said. And they're all going to learn the same Daf Gemara. The Gemara itself, if you look at the Gemara, we have the Mishnah that was written in Eretz Yisrael, the Gemara that was written in Bavel, the Balei Tosfos, Rashi in France, the Ramah in Poland, we were there today, he says this. He brings the Ramah. The Shulchan Aruch in Tzfat. It's a combination of Yidden from around the world. I'm thinking to myself, that is MDY. MDY is the Ashkenazim and the Sfardim, the Hasidim and the Litvaks, the Misnagdim and the anti-Misnagdim, and the Tziyonim and the anti-Tziyonim, and the Freya and the Jews and the almost Jews. And we have every type of person in the world with tremendous love. In this room itself, we have Hasidim and Litvaks and Sfardim and Ashkenazim and every Yid in between. And that was Meir Shapiro's dream, that Klal Yisrael should come together through Torah, and that's mamash it, that we're Mekayim's dream in his Beis Medrash. We heard tonight a vart from Meir Shapiro, from Rabbi Ephraim Shapiro, who's not related. He's with us on a trip, and he said it's his favorite vart. Koysoymar lebeis Yaakov. No, Koye Zarecha. It's Koye Zarecha, he said. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avram Avinu, go count the stars. And Meir Shapiro asked, how can you count stars? What was the Havamina to even start? You can't, it's impossible for a human being. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avram Avinu, Koye Zarecha, that this midah that you have, that you tried something that's impossible, you went after the impossible, that midah, Koye Zarecha, your children will be just like that. They're going to go after the impossible. 3 years ago, Nisan Al-Gadz and I sat in a room, and Yossi got up, Yossi Klein said, we're going to have 70,000 people in MDY. And I told him, I said, Yossi, I love huge, grand goals. I love it, but they have to be realistic. Let's go for 10,000. What are you tying up? He says, no, we're going for 70. Rebelli, we're going for 70,000. You remember that one? Now it's not even a joke anymore. We're close to halfway there. And back then it was like, no, it's a guzma. But koye zarecha. We have the ability to go after the impossible. What we're doing with MDY is the impossible. It's mamish, nisei nisim on a daily basis. Pashat nisim. But that's the bracha of koye zarecha. So Be'ezer Hashem, we should make Meir Shapiro proud. We're his children. This chosim, it's unbelievable. This chosim. And we all have it in us. It's not only one person, not Meir Shapiro. It's not, he doesn't have a monopoly on that kind of thing. You have somebody like Reb David Hafstetter, a single individual, the Schusim and the Dirshu and the Chavetz Chaim that people learn from a sefer every single day, Mishnah Brura and Chavetz Chaim. And it's doable. It's doable if you just want. Koye Zeracha, you could go out there and change the world. Everybody could do it, and everybody should do it, and everybody should go out of the comfort zone like Meir Shapiro did. Because without that day, if he would have been shy, and he was like, okay, it's not, he was a young man, how am I going to speak in front of the Chavetz Chaim? Yeah, got to go out of your comfort zone. Rabbi Yisai, Meir Shapiro was Mechabed this Niggun, and the Olam will sing together. We'll just do one stanza of each. Lamagain, let's go. What do you got? Itzion, Temalei. Bnei Hamikdash, Itzion, Temalei. Bnei Hamikdash, Itzion, Temalei. Bnei Hamikdash, Bnei Hamikdash, Tzion, Temalei. Love it. Bnei Hamikdash, Tzion, Temalei. Tzion, Temalei, Bnei Hamikdash. Tzion, Temalei. We're holding Daf Amud Aleph. I do have to say that's like 12:20 in the morning, and I know that I came from Eretz Yisrael. I got up at 4 in the morning, might have slept a half hour on the bus. Those who came from America got up way earlier and still didn't sleep. So the oil was going on fumes, and they still came to Beis Medrash to learn. That's the beauty and that's the strength of Daf Yomi. Those of us who do the Daf, we learn even at 12:20 in the morning. Those of us who don't do the Daf are about to exit the door right now as we speak. Omar Meir, Hilchasa. I know I'll get him to stay. Oisi ois niknais b'mesira. So we're in the middle of a sugya of shtar choiv. No? Alright, Papa, so what do we do in the English here? No, what did I do in the Mishnah? Okay. Amar Papa. Daf Amud Beis. Oh, I could do sponsors. Let's do sponsors real quickly so that it doesn't mess up the guys. The Chayalim is sponsored by Binyomin Rosenfeld for Hatzloch business. Mesech is sponsored for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parents Achodesh, Nishma Zechariah ben Moshe, Nishma Zechariah ben Yosef, Parents Achodesh, Binyomin Rosenfeld, with gratitude to Biderman, Eli, Gedale, Fenster, and Michael Safdie. Parents Achodesh, Eli Stefansky and Moshe Tzvi, Dr. Moshe Tzvi, for the refuah, shleima, and safe and speedy return of our Chayalim. Parents Achodesh, matching Raveli's donation to Chayalim for the month. Parasayim, Peter Merker, in memory of Ruth Denker, Ruchel Bas, Moshe on her 40th yahzeit. Parasayim, Mendel Lerner, bring back loads of ashpos from the entire Chabura, Mנחem Mendel Lerner, v'chol mishpachtoi. We went to the Kfarim, and we all had a mind for the MDY Mishpacha and all the names, 4,000 names plus. Mark Ashkenazi, Mazel Tov to Achi HaGadol, Rabbi Yaakov Yosef, on the chassan of his daughter, Devoiri tonight. Mark Ashkenazi did not go to his own brother's chasana so he could be on this trip. Yitzchak Klug, Lili Nishmas, my father, Moshe Pinchas ben Dov Alevi on his 18th yahrzeit today. And Shom should have an aliyah, Parasayoim, anonymous from Lakewood, in honor of Mark Ashkenazi, for always making himself available for MDY and missing his own niece's chasana. I stuck in those last words. Art of the month for Zchus Rebelli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah and joy for so many. Rabbi say we got to move this a little bit. We're talking about a sugya of oisios, niknois, be mesira. You can show it on the thing. Oisios, niknois, mesira. Oisios is a shtar of debt. Somebody owes you money, you want to give it to your friend, you want to sell it to your friend. How do you do that? So according to Rav Papa, you have to write another shtar Not like Rebbe, the halacha is like Rabbanan, he passes like Rabbanan. You have to write another shtar saying I sold it. Omar Ravashi, Amrita Shmaita Kamid Rav Kahana. I said this over to Rav Kahana. Va'armislei, time of the cause of Leihachi. And I said to him, it's only because he wrote these words, Haloi cause of Leihachi, Leikani. Seems like you wouldn't be kind at all. Well, why would a person purchase a shtar? You're right that the words of the shtar are not worth anything. But why did this guy purchase a piece of paper to cover a bottle? Omar Li, in Lotzer v'Lotzer, it's to cover a bottle. Daf Ayin Zayin, which means that we have 100 daf left in the Masechta. Omar Meir. Hilchasa, Oiseis Niknes b'Mesira Kirebi. The halacha is that a shtar like this does not require another shtar on top of it. Just give it to him and Shalom Yisrael. All you need to do is one action, not two actions. This is machlokes rishonim. If this is the halacha, now let's read it together. Omar Meimar Hilchasa. The halacha is kirebi. But the rishonim argue here on the Amud. You don't even have to go anywhere. The Rashbam, Taisus. The Gemara mean this. The Gemara mean that. It's like so difficult. You can't come up with the halacha. The Gemara says before this is the halacha, and it might have meant like Rabbana. And that the Gemara in Shabbos says that is part of Golus. That we don't have a Mishnah. The Gemara's lashon is we don't have a Mishnah Brura. We don't have a halacha Brura. Where did you get this from? Is it tradition or you figured this out yourself with your own logic? Gemara, I got it from tradition. Omar Ravashi Svar Namihu. I'll tell it to you based on logic. What are oises? Just words, nothing. You can't grasp them. It's not a thing that you could be makna with a certain kinyan. It's just air. And you cannot be kind of words with words. If I can't be makni you, how could one word be stronger than another word? One word is going to help another word. Doesn't work. Below, I asked the Gemara. By the way, the Bali Musar say that when it comes to Torah, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to do Daf Yomi. I'm going to start learning Torah on Rosh Hashanah. You're going to say, Hashem, that doesn't help. You got to do it. You can't say it. Mili loy miknin. Mili is not enough. Words is not enough. You got to take action. This we did in Hebrew, right? In the Mashul. I'm very confused. I don't know what I did where. And we're going backwards. We do a little bit forward, we do a little Mishnah here, 2 words there. Okay. Hopefully the editors know what to do. Take out the Mishnah from the Remelech, the Noam Elimelech, and put it over there. Okay, fine. They'll figure it out, hopefully. Huh?
Can I get the building system? Can I get the building system?
Oh, that's what it was. That was Hebrew? Okay, that was Hebrew. No, but I'm saying the Americans in the Hebrew. Okay, I'm confused. Zog the Gemara. They said in the name of Rav, Shnei Shtarishem. So now we're going to see 3 beautiful halachas. Halacha number 1. Zuchu besada ploini, zuchu besada liploini. Oh, I don't need you guys. Here, Yoshi did it. I guess it didn't come in. So check this out. This is what Mark Ashkenazi and Benny did. If you guys want to do it, a moicher tells the shliach, go be mezaka. I want you to be koina this field for the guy all the way on the left. And step number 2, I want you to write a shtar. So what happens is, look, they gave the field, and then he screams, I don't want you to do it. So the field is too late already. He gets the field. Why does he get the field? Because they made a kinyan. They made a kinyan sudar. What he could stop is the writing of a shtar. What is the shtar for? Proof. I don't want you to write proof. Okay, so we won't write any proof. But the field, he gets the field. Yeah? There's 2 things going on here. The shtar is not giving it over. It's not conveying anything. It's just proving. So the conveyance happened through lifting up of a handkerchief. Okay, that happened before he regretted it. That happened. The second part, writing the shtar for proof that didn't happen yet, then I'll stop. Why do I want to stop it? I don't want people to know I lost my field. I want people to think I'm wealthy, that I have real estate. If people knew I gave away my real estate, I lose my credit. My credit rating goes down. Says the Gemara. Let's see what else he did here. Okay. That's halacha number 1. What about halacha number 2? The conveyance of the field should not happen unless there's a shtar. Oh. Then if he jumps in and he says, here it is, and they're about to give it to him and he screams, hey, I take it back. So the field goes back because one was dependent on the other, and since they didn't write the shtar yet, the other guy did not acquire the field, and he could take back the shtar. Memela, Shalom Yisrael. Says the Gemara. Let me add one more halacha. Trey, Hodamar, on these two cases we just showed. Idach, if a person wrote a false shtar, in other words, a person anticipated he's going to sell his field, he's going to sell his real estate, but he didn't. But he saw a cipher come through town. He said, listen, write a shtar that I'm going to sell to so-and-so. He anticipated he's going to sell to so-and-so, and as soon as he wanted to convince him, the moment he'll convince him, he'll pull out a shtar, okay, good, sign on the dotted line. Like a guy, he noticed that his kids are not visiting him anymore. He's getting older. Nobody comes to visit him. One day, his kids came to visit, and by mistake, he left a couple of documents on the table which stated that a certain guy owes him $10 million. Immediately afterwards, his kids started visiting, big time. But those were made up shtaros, it was just a trick to get his kids to come visit him. Are you allowed to make a shtar like that? It's mechzik shikra. So the Gemara says over here, it's okay. Because the only person losing from this is the guy writing the shtar. Worst comes to worst, he loses his real estate, even though he never sold it. He wants to take that risk. That's his problem. Sagt die Gemara, darf ein sein Amud Beis, koises sheninu, koisim shtar lemoicher, ava pishin lekeachimoy. We mamish learned it, that you're allowed to write a shtar for the seller, even though there's no buyer. And what does it say? Kivin sheich zigzeh bekarka, kona nikna shtar b'chol mokom shehu. Check this out, here's the halacha. Same story. There's a Merker on the right. There's a shliach in the middle, the little guys. They're the shliachim. Take the shtar. No, don't take the shtar. I'm writing a shtar and be kind of the field for that guy. Okay? So, I don't know what Yoshi did there. It's as if the guy with the shovel, I don't know what he's doing over there in the field, as if he's kind of the shtar. Wherever he is, he gets the shtar. So you hear the Gemara's proof, beautiful proof. We're talking about, could you acquire a shtar through words? Over here you see you could. Because the guy on the right told the shliach, be kind of the field for the guy on the left. And because they were kind of the field for the guy on the left, he acquired the shtar, even though the shtar is in a different country. How did he acquire the shtar? He didn't convey it to him with another shtar. He just said, I'm giving you a field. Oh, so you see that you could acquire a shtar with words. I don't have any sponsors. Who are the sponsors? Who are my sponsors? I forgot who they are. Wait a minute. Who are the sponsors? Anybody remember what the sponsors are? Oh, Citron, that's right. Thank you. Citron Films, who's here today. Here, Citron, come here. Get over here. And Lilu Nishmas, the 6 hostages that were murdered last week. What? Ooh, this thing is heavy. No, you're blacking. You don't black.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Okay. Go to sleep. It's going to cost you extra. Zog the Gemara. Oh, so says the Gemara, nice try. Belongings that are not real estate, you could acquire them. If you acquire real estate, it comes with all the furniture and all the stuff that's not real estate. Bekesef ushtar chazaka, through the kinyan of money, a document, and by changing the locks, chazaka. So it's a kasha. You see over here that the shtar here. Let's see if it goes back. You see the shtar in the guy in the right man's hand goes to the guy on the field without any sort of kinyan, no kinyan. Just it happens to go to him. Why? Says the Gemara, I'll tell you why. Agav Shani, there's a special kinyan called kinyan Agav. Whoa. Kinyan Agav, there's a lot of charts here. Kinyan Agav means that if I acquire real estate, I acquire a bunch of other stuff as well. That's how I acquired the shtar. But over here we're talking about acquiring a shtar chayv, a debt. Debt you can't acquire with words, without words. You need to write it down. You need a new shtar. Agav Shani, and I'll prove it to you. Could I take a pile of dollars and make it yours through the kinyan chalip and kinyan sudar by lifting up a handkerchief? No, it doesn't work. Why? Because dollars have no intrinsic value. Their only value is the paper that they're written on. It happens to be human beings consider it valuable. $100 bill and a $1 bill are the same exact value. They weigh the same, they're the same size. So it's just numbers on it that people decided it's worth more. So it doesn't work. Chalipin doesn't work on it. However, the Agav Aronikne, but through the kinyan of Agav, it does work. So by us also, the kinyan Agav, because I acquired the real estate, I could acquire shtar the Rav Papa, like we see the story of Rav Papa. We had it. Where do we have it? In Baba Kama, just recently. Then the Baba Kama. The Rav Papa Havalei Tracer Alfi Zuzi Bechazoi. In Chazoi, they owed him 12,000 zuz. Akninu Nahalil Rav Shmuel Bar Acha Agav Asifa de Beisei. I'll show you the picture and you'll say, yeah, Vada, I remember the story. Where was it? Here. This is Rav Papa's house. He gave the door, the little part of the doorway, the floor over there, the sifei, to Shmuel. He gave him that and he said, because I gave you that piece of real estate, now you own the 12,000 zuz that so-and-so owes me. So when you go to Chayza, you tell him that he owes you the money, not that he owes Rav Papa the money. What do you gain by that? That the guy in Chayza is he's not going to be scared. If he owes the money to Rav Papa, what if the guy loses it on the way? Rav Papa will come back to him and say, you owe me money. Like this, the guy's done. His Balchayv is Shmuel. As long as I pay Shmuel, I'm done. Okay, so then he'll pay up. And what happened? It worked. It worked so well that Rav Papa was excited. Rav Papa went to greet Shmuel. He went all the way to Tavach. So we have to understand, Rav Papa in Psachim Daf Mem Tes, it says Rav Papa was a tremendous gevir. He had a lot of money. He used to sell beer. What was he so excited about? A little money, a galad dar. Can you imagine the Chavetz Chaim getting all excited? Oh, I got $1,000. He runs out at a Radin. It doesn't make any sense. A Gadol is excited about money. So on the very, very simple Balabatish Pshat, I don't know Pshat, but maybe, he was excited about the opportunity that I could do to be Taimach Torah, to help Torah, to bring more people to Torah, whatever that was. Something to do with Torah. I'm sure he wasn't excited about money. People like the Vilna Gaon didn't care about money. There's a story about the Vilna Gaon. They took away the guy that was supporting him. The community supported him, but the Gabbai that was in charge of giving him the money never gave him the money for a whole year. He didn't say one word. He didn't care about money. So Rav Papa cared about money. So it says in the Mishnah that when you sell a ship, it doesn't include martzufim. Here's the picture that we had the other day. Martzufim is the sacks that hold the... Oh, this is the moving picture. It looks like the boat is shaking over there. And antiki, as the Gemara is going to explain, is what's inside. So, the famous Maisa, official, I hope I don't mess up the story. A Jew walks over to a Chinese guy, smacks him right in the face. He says, what's this? He says, this is for Pearl Harbor. He says, Pearl Harbor, I'm Chinese. That was the Japanese. He says, Japanese, Chinese, same thing. 10 minutes later, Chinese guy goes over to the Jew, smacks him in the face. What's this? He says, this is for the Titanic. Titanic? What, Shaykh? He says, yeah, you guys, the iceberg. The iceberg. He says, iceberg? I'm Goldberg. What iceberg? He says, iceberg Goldberg, same thing. Shkoyach. Sing a joke. I'm sorry, Meir. No more jokes here. Okay, one more. It's 12:20 in the morning. We could say this because it's in Poland. No. It's also, I said this joke once before, for sure. Because we're talking about the cruise, we're going to go on a cruise. And we're finishing the sugi of ships over here. So we're mamish dealing with the cruise. So there's a big group of Yidden that went on a fancy cruise. And the head of the group told the captain, he said, listen, if you treat us well, we're going to give you the biggest tip you ever had in your life. So the captain, he wined and dined them, he gave them. And the day that the cruise was over, he's waiting by the exit of the ship, and the first Yid comes out and he says, Nusa, how was it? The guy goes, this is amazing. He just runs. The next Yid, he doesn't get a single tip. Finally, the head, the guy that arranged the whole trip, he comes out. And he's like, oh, finally. He says, so Mr. Friedman, it was great. No. And the guy, he says, yeah, it was unbelievable. And he just walks right by him, doesn't give him a tip. 30 seconds later, he turns around, comes back, and gives the guy a $30,000 tip. So he says, I don't know if you guys killed Yoshka, I don't know. But one thing I know for sure, you took it as a neshama. Zog the Gemara. Bezer Hashem. The way this trip is going so far, I think we're gonna do a tremendous cruise. It's gonna be gewaldig. It's gonna be unbelievable. We better start working. Yossi, we might need another guy to help out over here. This is a full-time job. Zog the Gemara. Meir, the cruise is like this giant boat that holds 6,000 people, but it's encouraging people to learn Torah. That's why I'm saying this stuff. Zog the Gemara. Mayan Tiki, Omer Av Papa, Iska Dibagava. We'll show that picture a second. The merchandise that's inside those sacks. So I want to say over Mishnah. Mishnah says as follows, Daf Amud Beis in Bava Basra. This might be the first shir I've ever given standing up. Mochar es hakoroin, lo mochar es haprodos. If a person sells the wagon, it does not include the mules that pull the wagon. Mochar es haprodos. Now we do have video charts and all these things, but it's not going to work here for now. Maybe I could show you. Not negeh. Okay, they'll stick it in afterwards. Mochar es hakoroin, lo mochar es haprodos. What's included when you sell a wagon? The engine is not included. The mules are not included. Mochar es haprodos, if you sell just the mules, lo mochar es hakoroi. There's a famous Maisa where a guy got stuck, a gvir got stuck in the mud with his 4 mules, and he's trying, garnished. Ani drives by with his little wagon, two mules, like skinny, they haven't eaten in a few days. He says, could you help me out? Pulls him out like that. So what's Pshat? Pshat is that the 4 mules, they grew up in different places, they're mefunuk, they grew up in all over, they put them together, they don't work well together. These 2 mules, yes, they're skinny and weak, but they work together. Our Chaver, we have a mishpacha. Some of you will be familiar, Be'ezer Hashem, soon. We have a mishpacha. We work together. We have over 60 people worldwide that work together on a daily basis to bring Torah to Klal Yisrael. From the editors, from the guys on camera, from the marketing guys, so many different people. We have 3 full-time artists. We work as a team. When you work as a team, you can be very successful in avodas Hashem as well. So says the Mishnah, Mochars hatzemed li mochars habokar. Mochars hatzemed, if you sell a yoke, li mochar es habokar. Says the Shulchan Aruch, Mochars hatzemed li mochars habokar. Mochars habokar li mochars hatzemed, says the Mishnah. Even in a place where you call the yoke, some people refer to the mules as a yoke. Zok de heilige Ramah Hagah v'dafko she'einon kshurim biyachad. That's because they're not tied together. Avlim kshurim biyachad. I don't know where it went. Okay, you get that. Oh, here it is. Mechurim. But if they're tied together, it is a mechira. We know the Ramah is the Ashkenazi Poisik, the Shulchan Aruch, which I read first, is the Mechaber, the Beis Yosef. He's the Safdie Poisik. So we're here in the Ramah Shul. So many of the psakim, so many of the halachas and minhagim that we do are based on what the Heilige Ramah taught us, and his kaver, here's his shul, his kaver is 1 foot behind the mechitza on the other side of the wall, and Be'ezer Hashem, when we finish here, we're going to move to the back so that people could have a mincha here and not disturb the olam. There was a genius that found out that, we'll talk about geniuses later. Let's go weiter. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Hadomim Moedim. So Nachama, we learned that if a person sells some cattle, it doesn't include the yoke. If you sell the yoke, it doesn't include the cattle. Says Rabbi Yehuda Hadomim Moedim. It's just look at the price. Look at the price. If a guy paid for a yoke, he paid $10,000. Obviously, it's supposed to include something else, not just the yoke. It's supposed to include cattle as well. We're going to see in the Gemara very interesting things. He says, sell me this yoke for 200. Why would he pay that? Obviously, it includes the cattle as well. The Chachamim Moimrim, Ein Hadomim Raya. There's no raya from the amount of money that he paid. I'll just tell you a quick story. I hope the Ramah will be moichel me. It's one of these mices. There's a guy who bought a brand new Lamborghini. Today they already have it in Lakewood. They have the convertible Rolls Royce. He bought a convertible Rolls Royce, $350,000. He takes the car out of the lot and goes directly to a car dealer and says, I want to sell you this car for $90,000. The guy looks at it, he says, but brand new, this thing costs $350,000. He says, I know, and I bought it an hour ago. I want to sell it to you for $90,000. The guy says, hold on 1 second. He goes to the back, he calls up the police, and a few minutes later, he's handling, and the cops come up, they show up, come here, what's going on? They take him, they lock him up. Erev Shabbos, Saturday, Sunday, it was a holiday. Monday they come, they say, okay, we don't know what's going on, but we checked it out, you're good. So what happened was, he made a cheshbon like this. I'm going to try to sell this car for $90,000, and the guy's going to go to the cops, and they're going to put me in jail for no reason, and I'm going to sue them. And he sued the police for putting him in jail for 3 days straight without a reason, and he won $1.3 million. I just made up the number, I have no idea. That's a story of Hadomim Moedim. You could see the price. You see, what is the guy selling a convertible Rolls Royce for $90,000 when it's $350? Hadomim Moedim. Tori Rav Tachlifa bar Marovo Kamei der Bavo. Rav Tachlifa says in front of Rav Bavo, Mochas Hakara, Mochas Haprodos. The exact opposite of what it says in the Mishnah. The Mishnah says if you sell a wagon, you don't sell the mules. So how come over here it says in the Brisa, he's saying over Brisa, I learned, Rav Tachlifa, Rav Avo, I learned the Brisa that if I sell a wagon, I sold the mules. Vanan, but it says Mefurish in the Mishnah, it doesn't work. Omar lei, Isamios, he asks his Rebbe, so you want me to chop it away? You want me to cut it and put it in Shemus? Omar lei, loi, tetargim asnisach ba'dukim boy. We're talking about where the animals are attached to the wagon, and when they're attached to the wagon, that's why it's one sale. They go together. Mochas atzem lo mochas habakar. Hechidami. Ileima the korah letzimda tzimda lebakar bakar. What's the case? If people they're normal, yeah, they call animals and they call yokes. They don't mix the two. So then, of course, if I told you I'm selling a yoke, it's a yoke, not an animal. If I tell you I sell it, it's not a yoke. So the Gemara is the classic Gemara. What's going on over here? Mark, you bored because you already heard the shir? You're tired, you're overtired. Pshita, tzimda zaben lei, bokar lei zaben lei. We're almost done, Rabbi Yisai. Velo the korah lei namin lebokar, tzimda kuli zaben lei. Tzricha says the Gemara, ba'asr the korah lei tzimda, tzimda lebokar bakar. You're right, most people do it like that. Vikanami the korah lebokar tzimda, but there are some people that get confused. And they call an animal a yoke. Nobody calls a yoke an animal. Sometimes they call an animal yoke. We go by the buyer. So if we go by the buyer, says Rabbi Yehuda, you could look at the money. How much money? I don't know if you ever did this. Stam, it's just I could say it a little later, but I remember now. We can learn a few lines on Amud Aleph. I don't know if you ever went. To me, I see a kid selling lemonade, right? 25 cents a cup, 50 cents. I like to go over there and give him $10. It's like, because I was thinking, like, if I was a kid and I'm sitting out in the sun and all these cars drive by, nobody buys. Imagine if an adult came over and gave me $10, $20. I was like, make my life. For me, with $10, big deal. So $10. For him, so you look at it, he'll say, what's going on? It has to do a little bit with the suya later, but I thought about it now, so I'm saying it now. Sometimes the dumb in my idea, I'm like, what's going on here? It doesn't make any sense. A couple lemonades, 25 cents. What do you give me $10? No. If I give $10, Pshat, I'm giving you a gift. That's another way you can look at it. The kid chaps. Sometimes an adult comes by and gives me a gift. He doesn't, it's not the first, you're not the first guy that gave me $10, tzaddik. This is what I do here. You're the third carbon I got today. Zog the Gemara. Because we go by the Merker and you could explain it away. You could say it's a matana. Ask the Gemara, so why is this not canceled? It's like, oh no, if somebody pays $10 for a small cup of lemonade, it should be bottle. Says the Gemara, Avi, you want to go to sleep already? What's going on here? Mamash antsy over here. We're almost done, but I have a geshmak story. You're going to love this story. Maybe he'll say they don't agree to this bidul mekach. But okay, you give the money back, the difference, but the mekach is still there. If a person sells a sefer Torah, an animal, and a gem, a sefer Torah has no value. You could sell sefer Torah for $200,000. Some people spend that. When it comes to an animal, if I find the perfect match for the animal that I have, I'll pay all sorts of money for that. If it happened to my wife, she has a very expensive earring, a nice diamond, and she lost the other one. So if I find the diamond that's exactly the same thing, I'll overpay for that. There's no in on that. Okay, I want to find a match. No, I just made that story up. It didn't happen to my wife. Somebody else's wife. And it's only these three that have a na. But other stuff, there is a na. So it would cancel the mekach according to Rabbanim. Why do you say it doesn't cancel the mekach? Says the Gemara, That's exactly what I meant. When I said Ein Damim, I meant that it's canceled. Listen to this. Oh, so I got to tell you this Meir the Gemaisa. This guy was looking for Judaica. He goes to this Judaica place. Everybody's selling Judaica. He can't find anything valuable, anything for a good deal. He walks into the store and he notices this unbelievable bowl that he recognizes. He thinks to himself, this thing is worth over $100,000. So he leaves the store and he looks it up on Google. And in fact, it's exactly the one that he thought he knows his stuff, worth over $100,000. So he goes back into the store and he sees this Meshugana, this guy, the seller over there, using the bowl to feed his cat. He pours milk into it and he gives it to the cat. So he devises his unbelievable plan. He says, okay, I am going to buy the cat. If I buy the cat, the guy won't chop and he'll just give me the bowl probably for nothing, for a good deal. So he says, how much you want for the cat? This guy says, the cat, $1,000. He says, what are you, off your rocker? $1,000 for a street cat? In my neighborhood, there's a dime a dozen. What do you mean? He says, you want the cat or you don't want the cat? $1,000 for the cat. Now he doesn't have a choice because he wants the $100,000 bowl. So he gives him $1,000 for the cat. He says, listen, I bought the cat. I need to feed my cat with the special bowl. How much you want for the bowl? He says, not for sale. He says, I'll give you $1,000. He says, are you joking? No. $10,000. He says, absolutely not. He says, what's going on here? The guy says, I don't sell silver. I sell cats. He says, what do you mean? He says, you're not the first carbon that walked in here today to try to buy that bowl for a deal. Everybody knows that that's a $150,000 bowl. And they come up with the shtick, they're going to buy the cats. I sell cats. I sell cats for $1,000. So the guy goes, okay, so give me back my money. I don't want the cat. He says, no, the cat's yours. Done. I have your money. Shalom Yisrael. So in that case, the halacha is, believe it or not, the cat's his. He lost $1,000. You can't pay. A cat like that is worth $22, not $1,000. The answer is, means when you don't know the price. You think that this object, this car, the computer cost $100 and it really costs $50. So the guy ripped you off. You know how much a cat's worth, and you decided to pay $1,000 for the cat. That's your problem. You thought that you're going to do a deal later on. That's your own thought. That's Dvarim Shebelev and Dvarim. That's your problem. And that's what the Gemara says over here. When is the Mekach batal? That's when I can make a mistake. But when you bought a cup of lemonade for $20, you knew what you were doing. It wasn't a mistake. You did it on purpose. You knew what you were doing when you bought the cat. That's your problem. So maybe in fact you gave a matana, Rabbi Sai. Have a wonderful day.